vibes. This reminds everybody of Goonies. Yeah. Come to a former restaurant, follow some stranger to a basement, about to end up in a cave. It's exactly like Goonies.
Curious Nebraska has taken me around the state, covering quirky and unique stories that I never expected to find when I moved here. And some of those stories included separating legend from fact. Robbers Cave in Lincoln is a prime example of legends looming large, and in this case, even the facts are fascinating.
All you do is stay with me and pick up your feet. Nothing's gonna be flat, all right? You're walking through an old beach.
Joel Green may just be the foremost expert on Robbers Cave. He's a one-man band when it comes to booking and guiding tours, and he even wrote Robbers Cave, Truths, Legends, Recollections, a 2019 Nebraska Book Award winner.
I wrote the book out of sheer frustration because everybody dismissed the cave as a hole in the ground where college kids drank, and nobody really knew the history behind it.
So what is the history behind it? The earliest record he found was from an 1864 land grant. Soon it was being used as a storage area for Lincoln's first brewery.
In order to enlarge the cave, they hired this big German man. His name was Jakob Andla. He spent 4 years with a pickaxe, a shovel, and a wheelbarrow. Can you believe that? Uncle Jake hammered out 5,600 square feet of cave that we have today, all off the natural cavities.
Natural cavities? Here's Cara Burberry, structural geology professor at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln and president of the Nebraska Geological Society.
There is often cracks and fractures in a rock system, and certainly in the Dakota you find a series of orthogonal cracks. So those would have generally expanded, and you might have been able to pull some of this stuff out along those cracks.
The Dakota she's referencing is Dakota sandstone. Joel mentioned that the cave is on an old beach, but we're the only state 3 borders away from any ocean.
It was the Cretaceous Interior Seaway, so we're talking about 100 to 75 million years ago, that sort of time. And Nebraska, or Lincoln, Nebraska specifically, was on one of the banks of that seaway, and so you get these gorgeous beach sands, which are, in the case of Robbers Cave, they're actually really quite soft and friable, so it was able to be dug out.
Cara acknowledges the appeal of Robbers Cave, and not only from a scientific standpoint.
I think the fascination of Robbers Cave has got to be the human history that goes into it, because of all those markings on the walls and, the tradition there was for everybody to write their name on the wall.
What about the legends of Robbers Cave? In the book Nebraska Folklore, scholar Louise Pound is skeptical, not finding any evidence of it being used earlier by the Pawnee Indians or later as a hideout. But why let the truth get in the way of a good story? In a guide to the ghosts of Lincoln, Alan Boy writes about outlaws as well as rumors of the cave's use by the Underground Railroad. The cave was named after infamous outlaw Jesse James, even though there's no record of him ever being there.
If you show up in 1908, you're walking in on a bunch of mushrooms. If you're there in the 40s and 50s, it's probably wholesome. They're having costume parties and spelling bees with the VFW after Sunday school, right? The 60s, that whole cave was full of pot smoke. And the 80s, by then, is like a giant underground club. The second you get down there, you're just blasted with sound and sweat and stank and smoke and probably a lot of tears for fears.
Robbers Cave was named to the National Register of Historic Places in 2020. Not bad for a cavern originally carved out to store beer and was a bit later likely used as a brothel. Tours are increasing, and it's become quite a popular spot for photo and video shoots. That curious Goonie in me is happy that legends continue to be created. I'm Andy Hermann for Curious Nebraska.